Hey guys, this is Leah with Scott Leroy Marketing, and in today's tip video, I'm going to show you the best way to go about printing out your forms to bring that on your appointment, to get that hand signed in person. Now, of course, the general concept of DocuSign is to allow you to add your forms to your DocuSign room and send that off to your clients to be electronically signed. However, if your clients don't feel comfortable with electronic signatures, or if you're going on the listing appointment and you plan on explaining the form to them anyway and want them to hand sign it, you can follow these steps to pull the forms into your room and print that out to bring it along with you. All right, so the first thing that you'll need to do is go ahead and log into your DocuSign account. All right, so I'm on realestate.docusign.com specifically. Okay, so again, make sure you're going to realestate.docusign.com, right, and clicking on your DocuSign room from there. All right, so you can go there and you can either view your dashboard, it'll show you your recently viewed rooms, or of course you can click on the Rooms tab on the very top to view all your rooms right away. Now, just a heads up, if you are just starting your transaction, you would want to start that from command directly in an opportunity. Right? But if you already have a room created, you can go to realestate.docusign.com directly to access that. And I'll go ahead and double click on that to open it up. All right. So as I open up that DocuSign room, it'll take me directly into the details section. All right, so you can edit that if you would like to on the top right. You'll see that blue edit option right here. So if you filled in any of this information here, it would autofill onto your form automatically, okay? Especially if you're planning on getting your forms electronically signed at least some point in the transaction, I would highly suggest clicking enter on the top right and make sure to add in your client's information on the right-hand side. You'll see the seller info and the buyer info as you keep scrolling down, whichever pertains. Right, and again, it's a great time saver to enter in your data here for the listing and click save, so it will autofill onto your form. And again, that save option was on the very bottom right. And of course, if you're working on still adding in this data, feel free to pause the video so you can add that in. All right, but if not, I'm going to go ahead and continue on over to the document section. All right, so on this top toolbar here, so this is the room toolbar, we are clicking on documents. And this is where we'll need to go ahead and add in our forms. All right, so we'll do that by clicking on add on the very top right. So documents in my DocuSign room, and then the add button on the very top right. And that'll give you a few options here to add that from your computer, DocuSign forms, or so forth. All right, so in this case, I'll go ahead and pull that from my DocuSign forms. Okay, these DocuSign forms will be interactive for you, so you can just start typing in your form. All right, so the next couple steps will be slightly different for everyone, so bear with me. Some of you may be getting prompted to put in your NERDS ID, right, with the NAR, right? If that is your case, and that is required for your area, feel free to go ahead and pause the video and enter in your NERDS ID to connect to your association. However, that is not required for all areas, so you can check to see if your association's on that list. If it's not, then it's most likely not required to get the forms in DocuSign. And in that case, you can just click the skip option. Okay, it's like a little blue link on the bottom right that'll tell you to go to the next step, skip for now. All right, and it should take you to what I'm looking at here. So if you're looking at this, you're in the right spot. And so that top drop down here, if you click on that, you'll notice two options, a DocuSign Forms library and a DocuSign Forms group. Okay, depending on what you select from the first drop down, so if I have library selected, it changes my options in the second drop down. So here I see my libraries, my association board. Okay, but if I change that first drop down to instead groups, this will display in the second drop down any form groups that my Market Center has created for me. Now this will look different in your account. This is created by your awesome Market Center staff. All right, so if you don't have groups, there's nothing wrong with your account. Your office just isn't utilizing that, and that's totally fine. Just use the library option. But if you have groups, I like to use groups because it breaks it down. It makes it a little easier for me to find the form I'm looking for, so I can select the group name, use the search bar as needed, and then go ahead and click on the form name on the left-hand side. You'll see the little dot to select that. And you can do multiple at once if needed. And then click Add on the bottom. Okay, so again, we're selecting the group or library name from the second drop-down. Use the search bar or scroll to find the forms you need. Select those on the left-hand side and click Add. All right, and if you're still catching up, feel free to pause the video. You can do that anytime. And rewind it, of course. All right, so now that I have the form brought into my DocuSign room, I can open that up by simply clicking on it. So go ahead and click on the form, and that should open it up in your DocuSign room after spinning a little on you. And this is where it takes you to just start filling in your form. Now, if you added your client's name to the details section of the room, that should autofill for you. Okay, I must have not saved it, so I can go ahead and put this in, okay, but in theory, some information should be autofilling for you if you started in the details section. So let's say I'll have Michael Scott and Holly Flax buying this home. Okay, so I have my clients. You can see how easy it is to fill this in, if in case you want to fill in the form, because it does look very professional if it's typed out. And then I'm going to show you how you can print it to bring it on your appointment with you. Okay, so the idea is we would go through the entire form to click on all the text fields to simply start typing. You can click on any dots, any radio dots, to go ahead and select those. All right, so we're just trying to go through and fill out the form, so use your imagination that we completed the entire form. And this is a very important step. It's really important that we click Save and Close on the very top right before trying to print it, all right? So it will not allow you to print it unless you click Save and Close. And of course, if you're doing this with me, again, I know I'm a broken record, but you can pause the video to fill out the form, and once you're done, click Save and Close on the top right. A really important step, really takeaway for anything you do in DocuSign. Anytime you complete a form, make sure to always click that before getting it DocuSigned or printing it. And you always want to do that. It's the worst when you lose all your work without saving it. We've all been there. All right, so now that I've gone ahead and saved it, I'm going to click on the form to pull that back open. And we're on the home stretch here. Just a couple more clicks, and we will be able to print out this form and be able to take it on our appointment. So now when the form pulls up, I can see it has the data that I entered in, and feel free to scroll to make sure it's all there. Once I'm satisfied, I can come up to the document actions. So it's a little icon that looks like a folded sheet of paper on the top right. And this is where you'll have a bunch of options to rename it and so forth. But in this case, let's focus on the print option. Okay, so this, if you want to go ahead and print that and bring it on your appointment, you could do that right from here. You can download that to your computer, fax it, or email it as well. Okay. If you're looking to have that electronically signed, you would do that from the DocuSign option right there. Okay, I do have a separate tip video for that, and that can be found on slmtraining.com. All right, but if you're looking to print out this form, again, we filled out the entire form, click Save and Close. Now I'm coming back into the form to click Print. Okay, that pulls it up as a separate tab here as a PDF. So I can go ahead and print that out. So you can do Control P on your computer, or you can do Command P if you have a Mac. Okay, or on the top right, we can go to File and Print. All right, guys, so that is how you can go about printing out your documents in order to bring that to your appointment.